in Cincinnati. One. Well, the Pirates. One. Well, the in 10 innings.
Delightful.
In 10 innings. C Park is the Cleveland Indians. One.
Entertainment experience and get ready to reach new heights.
Just like they always do, Quaker Steak and Lube at the Highlands continues to serve the Ohio Valley. The Lube is still open for carryout and now offering their $10 meal deal every day of the week. Get one entree and one sidecar for just $10. Pick from steak, wings, ribs, and more. Call in or order online at thelube.com and follow them on Facebook to stay up to date on their latest specials and promotion.
One. After an off day.
Possible, and by following these guidelines, it potentially could save your life.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster with a look at your local weather forecast for your Wednesday. Under mostly sunny skies, temperatures rise to near 79 degrees. You'll watch as the overnight low fall to 57 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Times of cloud and sunshine for your Thursday with temperatures in the low 80s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
Good morning, old friends.
Hey, what are you doing here? About to go on the air.
Uh-oh, guess what day it is?
Wake up, fairy princesses, wake up!
Guess what day it is?
Get up before I get you up!
Guess what today is?
It's hump day. Hump day!
It is Wednesday. She calls it over the hump day.
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
We ain't one at a time in here. They broadcast me out on the radio. We're mass communicating.
Let Wednesday begin!
Hit it!
Live and local in the Ohio Valley, this is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
Yeah!
It's hump day, midday, midweek. Time for us to get things going on a Wednesday. What's up today? Well, more map manipulation in West Virginia, as Governor Justice does indeed add gold to the panoply of colors on the map. What's coming next? One person not pleased with this and some of the other changes made by the governor is WVEA President Dale Lee. He will join us to discuss his dissatisfaction and frustration. Our weekly candidate conversations with labor-supported candidates is sponsored each week by the Upper Ohio Valley Building Trades Council, and today it features incumbent Ohio County Commissioner Tim McCormick. From the Ironworkers, Benji Swanson coming in to join us as well on that. Wheeling Council members last night offered some thoughts on dealing with the city's homeless situation. And there was a peaceful rally held yesterday in support of the homeless in the Friendly City. This as city officials prepare to dismantle homeless camps along Wheeling Creek. And of course, it is our Wednesday edition of the show, which means for me, it's a short show. Let the legislative watchdogs get their say today. Watchdogs will come barking in at 9 o'clock this morning. Something on your mind you want to add to the mix? It's real easy to do. Use the text line at 304-214-1600. 304-214-1600. Watchdog Radio Network text line. From time to time, if we do have time, you can also use the CityNet hotline at 304-232-8255. That is 304-232-TALK. We are looking for another nice day in store today. We'll be roaming around 80 degrees, a little above average for this time of year. Some patchy fog this morning, but the sun will come up and burn that off during the day today. Then it'll be sunny most of the day today. And another place, nice and pleasant one, continuing through today. So today could be the best day of the week, depending how things go. 50 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport, 50 and a little bit of fog here at my home studios in the Elm Grove section of Wheeling, and about 50 degrees at the Robinson Auto Group Studios, downtown Wheeling. And here we go again, in the heart of the Ohio. That is not a COVID cough. Don't get upset. No, nobody, just something's in my throat. Just get started here with a little Dr. Pepper to make it go away. This is Diet Dr. Pepper, which has no caffeine. No, this does have caffeine. I have my caffeine in the morning. And Lord knows I need it now to wake me up. Biff, you probably knew this. I think I knew it, but didn't realize it last night. You know there's caffeine in chocolate?
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, of course you did. And I actually, intellectually, I knew that as well. But I didn't think about it right before bedtime last night, watching a few final episodes of The West Wing. It's our current go-to watch-it show during the evening hours. And so I'm watching some West Wing episodes, and I think somebody on The West Wing maybe had a candy bar or something. So say if I, to my wife, maybe candy? Yes, I bought some miniatures. Oh, what did you buy? Well, we got a little miniature Crackle and Mr. Goodbar and Hershey bars. How about Reese's Cups? Yeah, we got Reese's Cups in the refrigerator. Oh, Reese's Cups in the refrigerator. Cold, frozen Reese's Cup. And so old Monroe thought he'd have, well, let's just say some. Little tiny miniatures, Crackle, Goodbar, Hershey's. Reese's. Crackle, Reese's, Crackle, a little bit more Mr. Goodbar. Then there were only 2 Reese's left, and I thought, well, I might as well just have it would be foolish to just put these 2 back in the bag, Biff. So I finished off those last 2 Reese's as well. Now, I tell you this because I didn't quite realize what it might do to me. So as I prepare to drift off to sleep, I realize something. I can't! And I'm just sitting there staring at the walls, wondering, why can't I go to sleep? I turn this way, I turn that way, I turn upside down and all around, on my side, on my back. What can I got to do? Nothing. I cannot get to sleep. So usually I do a little bit of work, something that helps. So I grabbed my iPhone, and printed a few things for the morning and did some show prep and actually sent out a couple of notes last night. Boy, I hope Brenda Daynard's phone doesn't go ding in the middle of the night, because I some stuff I needed to talk to Brenda about, so I sent her an email last night about 2 o'clock in the morning. I tried to make sure that nothing I did was going to alert anybody, but I just was sending emails. I was sending not text messages. I wouldn't do that. Because I couldn't get, so I thought, this will make me go to sleep. Usually after, 5-10 minutes of that, it's like, no, nothing. Just 3:30 this morning. Finally. I don't really get into a deep sleep, but at least I get a little bit of sleep. But the alarm goes off at 5. I think I'll try to avoid chocolate before I go to bed. I don't think that was the wisest idea for me, Biff.
You might want to avoid it the rest of this week.
I think you might be right. Just absolutely stay away from it. So now I've got to make sure I've got caffeine this morning, though. I usually have my one Dr. Pepper. I usually have one Diet Dr. Pepper in the morning, and then I'll switch to something else, either decaf coffee or a decaf soda pop. But I think I'm going to need a couple of these. So I had too much caffeine to go to sleep. Now I got to inject caffeine to stay awake. It'll all work out. And now that the Teddy is back in school, normally when I get off the air, if I choose to, before I do some other work, I can take a nap. No, not today. Today I got meetings to go to down at the office. When I get done at the office, I got another meeting out in the world I got to go to. And by the time I'm done with that other meeting, it's pick up Teddy time. There's no sleeping then. It's playtime. So the idea of a nap won't work either. If you see me on the video screen, if you're watching us on Facebook Live, or if you're watching us on YouTube and see me sucking down Dr. Pepper a lot this morning, please don't feel like you have to text me and criticize me. I know what I'm doing now. Now it's just trying to stay awake. 7:16 here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Well, Biffy, we do indeed have a brand new map.
Yes, we do.
As we had predicted yesterday, as the governor had implied he might do, and then, of course, he did. The governor announced changes once again to the color-coded map of coronavirus spread. Now, we already were confused because of the weekend, learning that we have two maps that come out. The DHHR map that was before yesterday, red, green, yellow, orange, and red. Orange being the bad color, red being the bad color, but orange being the dangerous one. And the DHHR map is out there. And then we learned over the weekend that you don't pay attention to that, even though that's the official state map, but rather you pay attention to the Department of Education map, because for reasons unbeknownst to me or understood by me, the Department of Education massages the numbers and changes the numbers a bit from the DHHR, and we all know the reason why, because they want to make sure we have an easier time of playing football. So the DHHR map is not the same as the WVDE map. The WVDE map is the one map that controls them all. And now I guess they're both going to add an additional color because too many people were going in the orange. Ohio County, by DHHR standards, is in the orange. We remain yellow under the Department of Education map, of course, for this current week, which is defined by the Saturday map. But now the governor has added gold. It's gold. I don't understand this phrase. The governor, in making the announcement, said, it's a big boy job now. What? It's a big boy job now, he says. I think he probably was somehow trying to slam Ben Salango, who already, before the gold color map came out yesterday, had taken the governor to task, saying the governor has not been leading in this at all. And in point of fact, he's been changing the map too many times. The governor, however, said, I strongly believe what we needed to do was tweak our color-coded system and add another bracket. And so now we have the gold bracket. Gold is in between yellow and orange. And by the way, as I predicted yesterday, if you look at the map, it's really hard to tell the difference on the color-coded map. I mean, you can tell the difference, but if you're going to do another, shouldn't it have been something totally different?
Like blue?
Yeah, exactly. Blue, green, something very, well, we have green already, but something distinctive that you could look at the map and see, because it really, they put out a brand. What they did, after the government came up with the gold standard, we're now on the gold standard. After the government came up with the gold map, the gold color map, the DHHR redid Saturday's map to put it out showing what it would look like, or actually the Department of Education redid Saturday's map, I think it was, showing what it would look like if gold had been in the mix on Saturday, so you can figure out where you might be and so on. So we now have gold. Now, counties that are in the gold category still can have classroom instruction, but have to put heightened precautions into place. Sports teams can compete against their in-county opponents, or can compete against teams from other gold counties. They cannot compete against the orange or the red teams. And also the governor changed the way we measure the coronavirus spread in counties. Previously, as we've talked about over and over again, counties were assessed by the average number of daily positive tests in a 7-day rolling average, adjusted for 100,000 of population. The smaller counties was a 14-day rolling average, but adjusted for 100,000 population. Now there's another way. Now they're adding a percentage of positive rate at the county level, the number of positive cases divided by the overall testing number. If you're in gold, it means you have a positive rate of 4% or less on the 7-day rolling average. And now you can pick what you want. Now you can pick how you want to do it. So this idea that we're going to have a single map that's going to define a public health issue for all of the state. Every county would be assessed the same way. Everybody would look at the same numbers. Everybody would basically be able to look at that map and say, where is Ohio County in relationship to Mon County, in relationship to Kanawha County, in relationship to Berkeley County, or what have you. We'd be able to know where we at least stand side by side. But now, first of all, we're going to have two different maps, DHHR map and Department of Education map. And now you're going to either be able to use the previous rolling average of 7 days, positive tests over 100,000 population, or the new method the governor came up with yesterday. And the governor says it is either or. County can figure out what they want to use. The county can decide which of those rates they want to use. And the governor says this way the counties can pick whichever one is better for them. Better for them? Isn't this a public health standard? No matter where you come down on the side of football should be played or not be played, we should or should not have these kind of rules and regulations. If we're going to have a public health standard that defines where we are operating in this state, shouldn't it be a standard? I mean, a standard is, a standard. It's something that you can measure against and know about. A standard is consistent. A standard should also be simple to understand, and it's consistent. So now we have a new color. We now have two ways to calculate the colors, and we have two maps. Two maps, new color, two ways to calculate it. Basically, what the governor's saying, if you can figure out any possible way that you can play football, I want you to get out there and play. And again, regardless of where you come down on the side of playing football or not playing football, regardless of whether you think that we're putting too much emphasis on sports, regardless whether you think that the numbers don't really reflect what's happening to football teams and that they're not going to be nearly as in danger as people think they are on these maps. Regardless of that, Surely we can all agree we should have one single consistent standard. But we don't. 2 maps, 2 ways to test. Maps will come out every day from the DHHR, so you can look at those and see where your county really is, I guess. And then the Department of Education will do their map on Saturday, which at least last week was calculated based on Thursday numbers, so it's behind the times to begin with. Safety and consistency, the 2 things I've said over and over and over again that we need. Number 1, concern for safety and public health. And number 2, providing consistency to parents to really understand what's happening so they can, A, plan, and B, make the best decisions for their kids and for themselves. How can you do that when you get 2 maps, 2 methods of testing? Pick one. Whatever is better for you, y'all pick one. It is no way to run a railroad. Or a state, for that matter. Among those distressed about this is the WVEA. Our old friend Dale Lee is coming by a little bit later on to talk about it, but the teachers union says the virus map status tweaks just ain't gonna work. He says across the state, union members of his teachers union are not happy about the changes. Angry, Dale Lee says, that our state leaders continue to manipulate the color-coded map. And that's what it is. It's map manipulation. We'll talk more about what the WVEA thinks about that when Dale Lee joins us coming up a little bit later on. And in Charleston in particular, there's a group of schools that have decided, well, I shouldn't say that. That's not correct. There is at least one school, and there may be a couple of schools that have chosen to simply ignore the governor's orders. There is at least one Bible school, it's called the Bible Center, I think it is, in Kanawha County, that has simply decided to ignore the governor's color coding and is going to have full school no matter what. The governor said earlier this week, while we're watching that, that's a bad thing. They should not be disobeying my order. You can do anything about it? Yeah, I don't know if I want to do anything about it now, but that shame be upon them for doing that. Why don't they listen to me? They should be listening to me. So we have some schools, at least one school, and I believe there are maybe 2 now in Kanawha County, religious-oriented schools. I hate to just say Christian schools because that gives Christianity a bad name, but religious-oriented schools that have chosen to just completely ignore the governor's orders. Now, the executive director of the West Virginia Christian Education Association says that he has been encouraging all the schools that are part of his group, all of the Christian education schools in the state, to follow the map and to follow the guidelines. But some simply are not doing that. And again, what is the governor going to do about it? Nothing. Nothing really we're going to do about it. It's a shame they're not following him. They should follow him. This is the governor's policy, the governor's approach. He'll pound the table. They should be listening to me. We know what he thinks, Biffy. He said this a few months ago, remember? Why don't they just follow the bleeping guidelines?
If they did that, everything would be better.
And that is exactly right. But the group, the organization that represents Christian educators around the state says they are encouraging their members to follow the guidelines, but some simply are not. So there you go, gang. The latest on the color-coded map, the latest on map manipulation in the great state of West Virginia. Ben Salango, the Democrat running against Justice yesterday, running against Justice now, yesterday called for local control to return to counties. He said the governor's messing this up so bad, it's ridiculous to have a color-coded map for the state, and the state, DHHR or Washington Department of Education, either one, mandating how schools should operate Just give it back to the local school districts and let them make their own decision. And while I don't think that's the best idea, it may be the smartest idea given what the governor is doing, which is literally changing this color-coded map system every day, or every week at least, and multiple times a week on some occasions. Salango said it's time to take politics out of our COVID-19 response and take politics out of our school reentry plans and our ability to participate in sports. He says parents, students, and educators need wonder if he's been listening to this show. Salango says parents, students, and educators need predictability. They need consistency. Where have we heard that before? Oh, yes, I've been saying that. That's where we've heard it before. Salango said he would not recommend throwing out the color-coded map, but he thinks the school opening decision should be made locally and not with a mandate from the state. I hear what he's saying, given the circumstances with Governor Justice, but I also would suggest that we need some form of statewide analysis. We need to be able to look at the numbers, and I don't know that it's another burden we want to put on county school administrators to calculate their own public health rate. Seems to me that's something that could easily be done at the state level if it was done properly, which it is not. If you do slide into the orange category, gold is okay. Gold, you can still stay in school and you can still have in-class instruction. You can still have football and so on. If you do slide into the orange category on the one map that rules them all, the Department of Education map, then you have to go back home and all kids will go home and do distance learning, which at some point we're going to end up doing. I mean, unless we turn things around, and that's possible, and I hope we do, and I pray we do. Unless we turn things around, we are going to have kids heading home to school, locally I'm talking about, if we can't get our numbers under control. And then we'll be all doing some distance learning. One high school teacher in Wisconsin welcomed her kids back with a little talk about distance learning as she sang them a little song.
So no one told me school was gonna be this way. I got my lessons ready, but the students are MIA. I guess I'll move it all to Canvas here. Even though we're starting virtual, we can still have a great year, 'cause I'll be here for you. When you're learning at home, I'll be here for you. And you'll watch me on Chrome. I'll be here for you until you're here with me too.
You know, my grandson Teddy has 1 day a week that's remote right now. 4 days he's in school, 1 day remote. And he's actually adapted that 1 day fairly well, and he does the work he's supposed to do and follows up with the teachers and so on. One of the other grandkids, little Ariana, her parents have chosen to keep her home completely. She's doing all virtual. Went by to visit her yesterday. She's very happy with it. She's learning. She says she's learning. She's enjoying the remote learning. So it can be done and can be done well if we pay attention to it. So there we go, Biffy. Getting ready for gold. We'll see what let's see. Is today a press conference day?
Normally it is.
I think it is, because yesterday was an emergency briefing. Today will be a regular briefing by the governor. You know, why do I have this picture of Governor Justice last night sitting at home with the map, going through his Crayola crayon box, testing to see what color looks best next?
I'm telling you, it's got to be blue if there's another color.
I like blue and gold, perfect. I like your idea from yesterday. If we're going to have gold, why not silver and bronze? Why don't we just use all the colors of the rainbow? Red, orange, what is it? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Let's put them all in there.
You know what I think he did? I think he went over to Sherwin-Williams and got those paint charts. Those little ones that you can pick the colors.
Yes, exactly.
And I think he just put them on all the whiteboards and said, okay, I got to figure out which color I could use here and then what shade and everything, and that's how we picked the color.
Excuse me, sir. I see you're looking at paint charts. What are you painting a living room? Or are you doing the outside of your house or a new kitchen? What? Help me. I want to help you find your proper color of paint. What are you looking for? Well, I'm color coding a map to keep kids in the football games. Okay. Well, alrighty then, sir. You go ahead and look at these. Go ahead and look at these paint charts. Do you want something in the pastels or do you want neon bright? I like neon. I like it bright. What do you got in good neon bright? I need to add another. But I'm just picturing him sitting at a desk at home with his crayons or his coloring pens or what have you last night and just look at that map and going, what if I put this one in blue now? I'll make this. Oh, that looks pretty. Let's try that. God knows what he'll say today. But there will be a press conference because it's a day that ends in Y. And the governor likes to speak on days that end in Y. For the time being, that's all I've got to say about that. I do have some things to say about homeless in the city of Wheeling, a peaceful rally outside courthouse yesterday, and several council members had some things to say last night at Wheeling City Council. Share some of that with you coming up a little bit later on in the program here on the Watchdog Morning Show. But first, why don't we go to the news desk, grab some Ohio Valley headlines for you. Is Billy with us today or not? Not today. Mr. DeFabio, I know he's not on the regular Bill DeFabio Variety Show. That won't be until tomorrow, so didn't know if he's here for the Wednesday report or not. All right, so we'll check some sports for you. We'll check Ohio Valley headlines. Zach will be in to talk about the pretty nice forecast ahead for today, and maybe a little look at Hurricane Sally that we get to deal with as well. All of this coming up as the Watchdog Morning Show moves on. 7:35, 25 before the hour. 50 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. 50 degrees and foggy at the home studios in Elm Grove. And 50 degrees at the Robinson Auto Group studios in downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley.
The WTRF Channel 7 News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Now it's
Excuse me. Oh, my.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you are disabled? At Gelner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at gelnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help.
Today is the day to visit your Toyota dealer and save big on the car, truck, or SUV you've been dreaming of. Like an off-road ready 2020 4Runner or a rugged 2020 Tacoma, both with $1,000 cash back from Toyota. Or go with a stylish 2020 Corolla or adventurous 2020 RAV4, available with all-wheel drive, and get up to $1,750 cash back. Or take $2,000 cash back on a sporty new 2020 Camry. You can even drive away in an all-new 2020 Highlander with seating for up to 8 and get $1,500 cash back. Visit Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com, for more great savings, to check out inventory, and to find a dealer near you. All to help make buying or leasing your next Toyota easy and affordable. You can take cash back or apply to a down payment. Offers exclude TRD Pro models and hybrid offers vary. See your dealer for details. Don't wait, because today is the day to go see your Toyota dealer. Offers end September 30th. Toyota.
Hi, this is Shauna Johnson from Metro News, just one of the contributors to the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe. Listen and stay informed every weekday right here.
It's your turn to talk. From politics to pet peeves, get it off your chest and on the air. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
I'm talking about the color-coded maps, and you can use the text line if you have any thoughts on these color-coded maps that are determining when and how we play football and go back to classrooms and so on in West Virginia. I mentioned the governor added gold to the mix of colors as of yesterday. And someone texted me off the text line at 304-214-1600. Wouldn't other teams in your county also be gold? I'm not sure what prompted that question. I think maybe because I said that now that we've added gold to the mix, sports teams could compete against in-county opponents, anybody locally in your county, and also could compete against teams from other gold counties. That may have been what confused the texter or prompted them to ask, wouldn't other teams in your county also be gold? Again, the point is, yes, obviously other teams in your county would be gold. The point is that you can also compete against other gold counties. Still can't compete against if Central, for example, were to have a game against an orange or red county, still couldn't do that. But if one of those orange counties was actually gold now, they could do that. So that was the point I was trying to make, and the governor was trying to make. And if I didn't make myself clear, I apologize for that. We'll talk about homelessness and Wheeling coming up in just a couple of minutes, but let's talk about the weather right now. To help us do that again on another pretty pleasant day today, Zach is here from the Big 7. Good morning, Zach.
Good morning, Howard. How are you today?
Yeah, still a little chilly, 50 degrees outside. Not the warmest of the mornings, but I guess we're going to have to get used to these cooler mornings from now on. But not a bad day ahead, right?
Yeah, not too bad of a day ahead at all. I'm expecting to see probably the final stint and go around with temperatures near 80 degrees. So if you haven't closed the pools yet, you might be able to take a dip in there finally today, maybe even tomorrow with highs near 80 again. Excuse me. Mostly clear skies expected, but I do expect to see more clouds in the sky compared to what we saw in the past few days. Excuse me. Again, comfortable temperatures, no dew points expected to be an issue. Looking like a very nice day, just a little warmer than what it was yesterday.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. By the way, I don't know if those frogs in their throat can cross over the microphones or the radio airwaves or not, because I've been doing the same thing all morning long. So
I blame you then. I had no issues during the news, but I blame you then, Howard.
Okay, because I've been just trying to end up having to clear my throat or get a little quick cough in to fix that.
Yep.
So okay, I'm happy to take the responsibility. So anyway, sort of one last good day of summer, and really the next couple of days will stay, or at least tomorrow will stay fairly pleasant temperature-wise. Going to drop down into the weekend back to the 60s, I guess. But tomorrow, not too bad a day. But I guess we do have a little bit of rain tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah, I'm expecting to see mostly cloudy skies throughout the Ohio Valley, so rather overcast and gray. I'm not expecting anything in terms of significant rainfall. There could be a stray sprinkle. That's what we have on the 7-day. Again, a stray shower possible just because we're so cloud covered. There could just be a few raindrops that decide to sprinkle down. But other than that, it's going to be relatively nice. And then a cold front's going to sweep through late Thursday nights. And you can certainly see it in those temperatures for highs, barely struggling to get into the low 70s. So fall will certainly be in the air as we head into the weekend. And look at those low temperatures. We're going to be into the mid to low 40s. Certainly good fire weather. I know we talked about it yesterday, Howard.
There he goes again.
I don't know what's happening. I feel like it definitely was you then, Howard. I blame you for this.
I'll take the responsibility.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on. Just a bad day for us, I guess. But everyone has to have a bad day for every good day, right?
That's right. So, yeah, I don't have one. And last evening, I felt like, boy, I wish I had a fire pit out back, you know?
Yeah,
I just wish I could. It was that kind of evening.
Yeah, and looking into the weekend, it looks like it's going to be one of those ones, maybe even going out for a walk with your grandson, just going to be comfortable. It looks like good sweatshirt and sweatpants weather. I don't know if you're a fan of that kind of weather, Howard, but I know Steven and I have certainly been talking about it. We're looking forward to it because just getting ready for the fall season, just as long as all the mugginess and high heat stays in summer 2020, it doesn't decide to go flip-flopping around like we talked yesterday. Just keep us in fall, go steadily to decrease those temperatures, give us some good snow for the winter of 2020, and hopefully the 2021 can start normal and then end normal as well.
Yeah, and hopefully it just starts differently. Hopefully the 2021 will be here before we know it, and 2020 will be behind us, and it'll be the year that we wish we could forget, I think. Exactly. So looking at the temperatures are going to be cooler this weekend, obviously daytime and evening temperatures. But again, it looks like a nice stretch of sunshine and blue skies, though, right?
Yes, so we're actually in a dry pattern, so it kind of has to deal with what's going on in the upper levels. I don't want to bore you with all the big weather details, but high pressure will be in place, giving us rather cloudless conditions. And again, a very nice and dry stretch of weather, and it looks like we're extending that almost for another week, not only from this Wednesday, but all the way into 2 Wednesdays from now, which would be, let's pull up the calendar, September 30th. Who knows who would have thought we're already halfway through the month of September, Howard?
Yep, then fall is coming, and we've got some fall-type decorations. My wife has them out and ready to sort of hang outside and so on. So fall is definitely here. We got some little Halloween-y stuff getting ready to come out when the Halloween time comes. So Time is flying by, and again, for 2020, I'm happy to see that. Hey, Zach, before I let you go, bring me up to speed on what's happening with Hurricane Sally.
Sure. So right now it looks like it is just off the Alabama coast. Right now it's seeing a central pressure of 965, so certainly a healthy storm, and it is seeing sustained winds at 105 miles per hour. Now, to put it into comparison to what recently happened with Hurricane Laura, it's not anywhere near in terms of strength. It's not as powerful, but this one is moving so slow, probably our grandmothers could probably walk faster than it's moving. It's moving rather slow at 2 miles per hour. So I'm expecting to see some pretty heavy rainfall rates as well as flash flooding impacting the southeastern portions of Mississippi as well as into the panhandle of Florida as well as up into the central portions of Mississippi. So combine that with a 6 to 8 foot storm surge and flash flooding. It's just going to be, again, very detrimental for all those down south getting ready to be impacted by a pretty powerful storm. It is only 5 miles per hour away from being categorized as a major hurricane, as a Cat 3, but it is expected to make landfall as a Cat 2.
All right, and it will make landfall, when are we looking at?
Probably, if it hasn't been now, it has to be within the coming hour or two. I haven't been near the national hurricane.
Sometime,
I haven't been near.
Sometime this morning.
Correct, yes, within the coming hours.
Well, I know you'll keep an eye on that, and we'll be watching that as well. All right, Zach, I appreciate it. Thank you very much, and we shall do her again tomorrow for the Thursday edition. Thanks for joining us today. Now go and drink some coffee or whatever you need to drink to clear out that throat, because you
sounds
got a
good.
little
You
cough
as well.
on there, pal. All right, thanks a lot. Have a great day. Zach Petty from the Big 7 here this morning on the Watchdog Morning Show. 7:51. 9 before the hour. Biff and I are kicking around until 9 o'clock. Then at 9 o'clock, Biff stays around. I leave you and turn things over to the legislative watchdogs. I have a sneaking suspicion they, too, will be talking about the color-coded maps and some of the other things happening down in Charleston. Legislative watchdogs at 9. Then at 10 o'clock, it's Hoppy Kercheval, statewide talk line. Hoppy will, again, talk about the color-coded maps and all that's going on down in Charleston. Dr. Clay Marsh is going to join Hoppy today. Our buddy Brad McElhenney will be on this morning. And as he will be with us, Dale Lee from the WVEA will be on with Hoppy coming up today on statewide talk line from 10 until noon. Then at noon, of course, we go to the Big 7 for Ohio Valley headlines, direct from the anchor desk of Channel 7. And when that is done, we have a little more sports talk for... No, today is the Mayor's Day, right?
Yes, it is. It's Wednesday.
And so I keep forgetting that. Billy DeFabio wraps up his time away today. He'll be back tomorrow on the Billy DeFabio Variety Show. But until then, today it is, as always on Wednesday, at noon, it's your Wheeling, no two ways about it, with Wheeling Mayor Glenn Elliott and Vice Mayor Chad Thalman. And then the girls are in at 1 o'clock with their program for you. 2 o'clock today, let's see, I think Donnie is on. Hold on, let me check. I made a mistake earlier this week. I don't want to make a mistake again today. No, today is the DJ Daner again. DJ Daner is back with us again today on the afternoon drive today from 2 until 5 o'clock. And then, of course, the Big 7 news from 5 till 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock, we have Tony Caridi and Statewide Sports Line. And today being Wednesday, it's High School Sports Line at 7 o'clock on both of our radio stations, where Fred Persinger takes a look at all of the high school activity, the games of the past week, look into the games of this coming week. It's High School Sports Line tonight, beginning at 7 o'clock. So that's all coming up today here on the Watchdog. Neil Brown, Coach's Show tomorrow on both stations at 6 o'clock. And the Ryan Day radio show from Ohio State University. Yes, I know they're not playing. I'm not an idiot. I know they're not playing. But the Coach's Show still will be with us on the WVOY AM 1370 and FM 97.7. And also tomorrow night, the Brownies are playing on WKKX. Bengals and Browns. So that should be a good game. Well, I don't know if it'd be a good game.
It'll be the...
Maybe that's not...
It'll be the start to week number 2 of the NFL season, and the good thing is they're getting both the Browns and the Bengals out of the way early, because I believe every team has to play a Thursday night game. So I think it's a good thing. Get the Bengals and Browns out of the way immediately, and not have to worry about it later in the year.
All right, sounds good. That's tomorrow night, 8:20, I think, is our broadcast time on WKKX, AM 1600 and FM 98.1. And, of course, you can watch the game, listen to the game, all those kind of fun things. But if you want to maybe bet on the game, I recommend you check out our friends at FanDuel. By now, you probably have heard about FanDuel Sportsbook's world-class sports betting app. They make it, number one, easy to find and to place your bets. You want it to be easy and simple, so you don't want to make mistakes. They've got some of the best odds you're going to find anywhere. They have constant enhanced odds boosts, and they even get you your winnings in as little as 24 hours. Now, right there, a full boat of reasons for you to try FanDuel Sportsbook, but I do have a couple more. Right now, new users can place their first bet on FanDuel risk-free, get up to $1,000 back in site credit if you don't win. So you can place almost any kind of bet that you want to. Straight money line wager, play one of the different and fun games that they have. I shouldn't say games, but the different bets that they have that you can make. For example, the FanDuel football double up, where you place a pregame money line wager, and then if your team scores 35 or more points, your winnings will double. It's a pretty good deal. You don't have to do anything. You don't double your input, but you could double what you receive if they score a lot of points. So that's another way for you to make some cash off of FanDuel. So go see for yourself why FanDuel is the number one sportsbook app around. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app to get started. Be sure to sign up with my name, Monroe, in the promo code box, FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code Monroe. You must be 21 or older. You must be present in West Virginia physically. It's the first online real money wager only. The site credit is not withdrawable, and it does expire in 7 days. So if you win, you win. Life is great. If you lose, you get your money back in site credit, but it has to be used for another bet within 7 days. There are some other restrictions that do apply. Check out the details at sportsbook.fanduel.com for the details. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. FanDuel Sportsbook, more ways to win. The issue of homelessness came up at Wheeling City Council last night, and before that at a little peaceful rally that was held outside the courthouse. Of course, the city of Wheeling is still anticipating removing homeless camps on the 18th, which is when is the 18th, Biffy?
Friday.
Okay, so this Friday is the date they had said they were going to remove the homeless camps. Now, they're still in court, I think, with the ACLU over that. ACLU trying to block the removal of the homeless camps. And outside the courthouse, while there was a hearing on that yesterday, there was a fairly good size but fairly peaceful protest made, people showing support for the homeless. And last night at Wheeling Council, two members of council, both Ben Seidler and Rosemary Ketchum, spoke up and said something I've been saying, which is the city needs to begin to deal with the homeless problem in a more organized way. You know, we get upset when there's trouble with the homeless encampments, and understandably so. We get upset when we see people on the street corners waving signs and sort of bothering us by being in their point of view as they ask for money. We get upset because we think that they're somehow trying to scam us. We call them drug addicts and so on and so forth. And yet the reality is, majority of folks who are homeless are not homeless by design. They're homeless by circumstance. And many of them are not all that different from us if we got into really bad circumstances. So both Ben Seidler last night at council and Rosemary Ketchum said we need a more comprehensive approach to homelessness in the city, not sort of crisis reaction, but dealing with this on a long-term basis. And it's not just the city's responsibility, as they were saying, but let's pull together the various groups that deal with the homeless in the city and have them get with the city, and let's come up with some sort of game plan so that we're not, and this is now the second time this year that we've had to go to dismantle camps along the creek bank because of serious problems that have occurred there. Although one person spoke to city council last night saying that he analyzed the police data. He doesn't think that the the number of complaints that are actually coming from the homeless camps are as serious or as big or as large a number as the city is making it out to be. We're going to delve into this a little bit more tomorrow here on the show, but I think it's a point that I've been making for a while now. It's time to start looking at a more comprehensive approach to homelessness in the city. It's 8 o'clock. Let's go to ABC. They cover the world. Then we have candidate conversations coming up next.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Roaring is sure.
All right, what do we got? Anybody there? Anybody calling? What's the story? Okay, Tim's good. Okay, that's good. All right, tell him to sit back and relax for 10 minutes, and I'll be with him then. Thank you. And tell Benji, feel free to ask questions of Tim, because I just interviewed Tim last week, so I've done an awful lot of this. I don't want to have to repeat myself. I don't have to. So Benji could help with maybe a different perspective. So tell him to feel comfortable in jumping in, okay? All right, I'm going to take a break. I'll be right back.